You like the opening? You do.
Yes.
Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to show number 12 of Global Perspectives with Dr. Michael Leitman, where we discuss what's happening in the world today. Hello, Dr. Leitman.
Shalom lekulam.
Hello, everyone.
Today's topic is the new world of work, because we can see that we are going into a whole new world in terms of jobs and what's happening with them. Usually in the past, if you told someone, if someone asked you, what do you do? Usually they mean, what do you do for a living? And what they want to know by this is two things. One, how much you make. And two, what's your place in the social stratum? Basically, if you told them how much you make, they wouldn't be inquiring about the social stratum and everything else, because if you made a lot of money, you'd be high on the social stratum. But what do you do when money becomes meaningless? When a lot of good people are out of work, not because of something they did, but because there's simply no works. There's just no works, no jobs to occupy. We're going into a situation, into a present state where there are simply no jobs to be found, a permanent state of low demand, and therefore many people will be out of work permanently. So we would like to get your perspective, Dr. Leitman, on the new world of work that's forming as we speak. In terms of jobs and employment, what sort of world do you predict will form in the coming years?
I predict that it will be a world that truly needs different kinds of works, human kinds of work, that everyone will be demanded to work. Everyone will need to work. We will need everyone's work. Otherwise, we will not be able to survive. Not only make a living, but...
I have to stop you at this.
Please, but everything's correct. Everyone will have work. Every person will have work, starting with the teenagers and until a person's last day.
You do realize this is a complete opposite prediction from what everyone else is saying.
It doesn't matter what other people say. I'm saying my opinion.
How you see this happening?
I can explain. Our world is going through a serious change. And it's becoming a world with a kind of attitude, approach toward people, toward all of humanity, toward nature, toward the whole of reality, a different kind of approach, attitude. We'll have to work with our desire, with our thought, with our inner energy. This is what we'll have to apply. And not like we used to work with our hands, with our legs, with metals, with cultivating the land. That's behind us already. 100 years ago already, we shifted from cultivating land to working with different kinds of technology. 50 years ago, more or less, we moved to working with computers. And now, we're moving to a different kind of work. A work that we have to do by our inner forces.
That's what I'm wondering about. What do you mean when you say internal forces, work, internal work? What do you mean? What kind of work is it?
We will have to activate the force of nature, inner force of nature, the good, inner, beneficial force of nature that provides us with everything, with life, only not the way we did it in the past. By working with our hands, but by working with our desire, with our intention. But it's the same force of nature that we'll have to activate, and it will provide us with everything that we need.
Force of nature that we will have to work with. We don't even know it, and we will have to work with it.
זה כוח הטוב
It's the force of good,
ומיטיב.
the good, beneficial force, if we can activate and operate it correctly. It is the force that operates in the whole of reality, that keeps all the parts of reality together and operates them in a way that they will be interconnected. And we operate that force. We activate it only on a very low level, on the level of physical work, like animals, machines, different forces that
אין להם יותר אפשרות
don't have
בצורה יותר
any other way to operate these forces in a more exalted way.
So there will be no need for any manual jobs, any physical jobs.
כמעט ולא. כמעט.
Barely, practically not.
תתאר לעצמך
Imagine
היו עובדים לפני 5,000 שנה
how people worked 5,000 years ago in order to sow seeds in the ground,
חורשים
that they used to plow with some stick,
ככה הם היו מקבלים
and this is how they got their crops, maybe, a bucket of wheat grains or something.
גורן והיו
They used to then work on it. It was really hard.
ואחר כך אנחנו עשינו
And later, we did it with the help of machinery, but it was the same type of work.
נצטרך
Now,
להגיע
we will have to gradually
סוגי העבודות
operate the same kinds of work, but in a different way. We already see that we're advancing toward a form where all of these crops, the yield, everything that we need for ourselves, we can do it in a very
חדשה
new way,
בצורה מאוד
in a very
שונה.
different way,
אנחנו הכל יכולים לעשות את זה
that we can do it all
דווקא במעבדות, דווקא
in laboratories, actually, in
בקטנים,
small factories, plants, greenhouses, and it's all with the help of
מחשבים ומכשירים.
computers and machines and robots,
כמעט ולא
and
לעבוד על זה.
people will barely need to work on this at all, this one thing. But
אבל העיקר שאנחנו
the main thing is that we will operate all of these things
הצטרפות לכוח החיובי שבטבע.
by joining the positive force of nature.
אנחנו לא
That then, it's not that we will only
נמשיך לפתח
make a change
מכונות
in terms of developing machines and robots
חדשה, אלא אנחנו
and innovative technologies, but
בחיבור בינינו,
through our connection,
חיבור בינינו,
especially by the power of our connection, which is the uppermost degree of the still vegetative, animate, and human beings,
להפעיל כוחות הטבע
we will be able to operate the positive forces in nature, for them to take care
מזון שלנו בכל מה
of all of our food, of everything that we have to grow in order to succeed
שההשפעה שלנו.
in supplying our needs on all levels,
ובכל
in supplying ourselves with what we need.
אנחנו נפעיל את זה על ידי
We will do this by the good positive force that we will generate between us by the good relationships that we'll have. This will be man's main work, and this is something that everyone will have to do. It's not that you want to or don't do.
כל אדם ואדם לאט לאט.
Every single person, but gradually, bit by bit. It's not immediately, but gradually at first. It's going to only be, suppose, men, then also women, then even children, because we will see how much by that we provide ourselves and the entire world with a force of good warmth that will we'll have heaven on earth. We'll balance out the climate,
The
everything.
more I listen to you, the more I realize how different what you're describing is from what we know today.
נכון, יש לנו,
True.
יש לנו ממש לפנינו מהפכה גדולה.
Really ahead of us, there's a big revolution that we will have to make.
ולכן כל הווירוסים האלה,
And therefore, all of these viruses and all the problems that
ויכולות להתפרץ,
are
כל המטרה של ה...
coming and that can might outbreak, the purpose of their appearance is to force us to reach connection, balance, to influence nature for the better.
How will the transition from where we are today to what you just described, how will the transition go? It sounds like a very difficult phase.
יכול להיות קשה, יכול להיות קל.
It could be hard, it could be easy. It all depends on us.
אם אנחנו
The choice is in our hands.
מה אנחנו...
If we'll understand what we have to do, if we will understand
מה עלינו לבצע,
what we have to carry out, realize how are we supposed to change, and what ways are we supposed to connect,
אז זה לא יהיה
that these are the things that the wisdom of Kabbalah explains about. It won't be hard, we'll do it together, and it's going to be easy. If we don't do it, nature, one way or another, will continue in the right direction, and then we'll feel the entire change that we will go through, that we're not suited to this new nature, that it is not us making the change, but that these changes are being done on us, and then we'll feel it as blows, pandemics, and so on.
You're saying that the coronavirus and other problems are forcing us to shift into this new paradigm, new world that you're describing. Correct?
בינתיים כן.
In the meantime, yes. In the meantime. But still in a very soft way. Because it says, it's written about these days of ours, these times that we're living in, that there could be very bad state situations, big problems and troubles due to the different plagues, blows that will come from nature, that even what happened in Egypt won't be that bad.
Terrible troubles pushing us toward a better world. It sounds like it's going in the opposite direction.
לא, ודאי ש...
No. First of all, we have to understand that there's no good force or bad force here. We're working inside a system, and this system is arranged in such a way that these forces have to reach the next stage of their connection. And every time the force of good has to somehow control the bad force, according to the negative force, according to how it is in the general program of the development of reality. And therefore, it's not about wanting or not wanting, like we're saying, maybe it's the upper force that wants it, we want it or don't. But there's a combination of forces here that all the time have to be in a certain form of relations between them. The wisdom of Kabbalah explains this, explains about how can we fit into this entire process and be able to manage it correctly.
What I understand is how those blows, those troubles that we can see are coming toward us, how are they pushing us toward a world of inner work, of connection that you said? How are they bringing us there? I don't see the connection.
העניין הוא שהעולם שלנו
The thing is that our world and reality as a whole
נפעלת על ידי שתי כוחות. כוח
is operated by two forces, the positive and negative forces, the altruistic and egoistic forces.
לקבוע איזון
and we can determine the balance between them, to the measure to which in every stage that we're on the axis of time, the altruistic force will overcome the egoistic force, and then we will feel ourselves developing correctly in a good and nice way.
So where are the blows connected to the balance between the altruistic and the egoistic force?
These forces, in and of themselves, generate, in their influence over us, good or bad states, success or blows.
So how can we decide, or can we make these forces give us good states instead of bad states, good situations instead of bad situations? How?
Yeah, exactly by the work that we talked about that we'll have to do in our generation. In our generation, that we will have to determine the good force, for it to fight and influence and defeat the bad force in each and every state, and we will have to do this. And this is our work, the work of each and every person in this world that is on the human level.
Okay. Right now, I don't see any connection between the reality we have today and the reality you described. How will we make the first contact with that new reality?
I'll tell you already now. Were we able to connect with one another and to influence each other with our good relations, we would have cleaned this world of all the viruses on all levels. On the still, vegetative, animate, and human levels, we would have cleared this entire world of all bad things.
But how will people know about it?
They have to be taught, but this is our work. We already know that if today you want to get some kind of job, you have to take courses, you have to be an expert, you have to have your CV, you have to have you have to be prepared for this profession. This profession too. We'll have to learn. We'll have to open courses for everyone. And to fit in and to take these courses about global education throughout our entire life. And of course, our world will get new forces that we will feel then that we're relating to nature, ourselves, society in a completely different way. But this is our work. We have to see it as work, man's work in the new era.
That's a good title.
Ken?
Right now, a lot of people are doing a lot of different jobs. And what I picture as I listen to you is everyone doing the same work. Whatever that work may be, it's all the same work for everyone.
כן. לא, זה לא בדיוק.
Well, not exactly, because everyone does it out of their own inner structure.
That's my question. Where is a person's uniqueness expressed in this? Because right now, people are going in different directions according to their character, according to how competitive they are, how much they want to achieve, what they want to do in life. How will people express themselves personally in this new world where everyone basically does the same job?
We actually generate a system, a round system between us, or even more a ball-like system where we're all connected, interconnected in the shape of a ball. And in this sphere that we generate, we want to reach the balance, a balance between our particular forces, that we even ourselves out correctly in our connection in such a way that in the center of the sphere, We build our connection that is entirely above us, above our particular forces, everything only to the benefit of others. And this way, in the center of the sphere, we generate a special essence that is above us, that we call the upper force. But we're the ones that generate it.
Dr. Lightman, I didn't understand one word of everything you just said now in the last minute. Let me take it apart one term at a time. A sphere. What is the sphere you're talking about?
Sphere means that all the billions of people in the world are interconnected with one another through different kinds of connections on different levels, so that eventually it's not that we create a sphere, but a ball that is entirely filled with our connections.
So it's a ball, and all of humanity is on that ball, right? And the people are connected in threads.
True.
That's what creates the ball?
Correct.
Okay, so what is
True.
the center of the ball, the sphere, whatever it is? What is the center of it?
The center meaning that it's what we generate, form, shape, build, make. Such a connection between us that it becomes something that is above us, superior to us, because everyone wants to bestow to the others, to give the others, and then out of all of these, our inclinations, we generate a special force that is above us, and it is called the upper force.
Okay.
We make it ourselves.
What are we doing by ourselves? The upper force?
The upper force, yeah.
Why is it upper? We are doing it. So why is it above us?
We build it as something that is upper to us.
Then I'm above what I created. Why is this force above me if I created it?
You make it, generate it in such a way that it will be above you. Because in your work, by it, you elevate anyone that you connect with. You elevate them to that level that's above yourselves.
The person I connect to, I raise him to...
The person that you connect with, you feel him, you want to put him above yourself.
And that creates that force above me?
Yeah. You build the upper force.
Okay.
This is our work. Our work in these new times is to make the creator.
To make the maker.
Exactly.
Okay. And why do you keep repeating this thing about we have to give to each other, we have to bestow, we have to... There's this element of giving that you keep emphasizing in this work. Why is it so essential here? Why
Repeat.
is the element of giving so essential, so important, so crucial for this whole process?
Because this is the essential positive force, the force of bestow, the force of giving, that we want for it to control, to reign over the force of reception that up until now controlled our world.
So by giving, we create that force, if I understand correctly?
Of course. We elevate it. We elevate its value. We make it important. We raise it above ourselves. Crown it over ourselves.
People will have to, some people, not everyone, but a lot of people will have to give up a lot of dreams, a lot of hopes that they had right up until the coronavirus came along.
A person that's going to work is also giving up many things in order to exchange, as we say, a cow for a donkey. He gives up the cow in order to get the donkey.
But my question is, there are many people whose jobs, they went to work because their work was their dream. They had a dream career. They believed that they would achieve things in their job, their career.
Here, for sure, they will have to understand and appreciate this new work as a unique, the most exalted kind of work in the world altogether.
Easier on them to shift their dreams from the past to this new career.
To make this work important in our eyes, and that on the one hand we have no choice, on the other hand, look what a privilege, how privileged we are to do this work, that it lifts us above all of nature, still vegetative, animate human beings. We're building a new world here, a new world.
A new world of work. Yeah, Dr. Lightman,
No, not of work. A work, or the work, is a means, and the work itself is already a part of the new level of the human development. It's not that I'm going to dig holes or work in the field or anything, or work with cows. No. It's man's inner spiritual work in connecting to others. And then, even though that a person's cultivating land, he doesn't feel that this is what he's working with. He feels that he's working on his connection with others.
Okay, our time is up, and I'm out of question. I actually didn't ask any of the questions I prepared for the lineup, which is a good sign.
I'm happy to hear. It's a good sign. I'm sorry, I kind of twisted our talk from the very start because I thought that the truth is that I could have talked about this a long time ago, but it seems to me that now we're entering a stage where we can't talk about this.
And okay, I was going to ask for a concluding sentence, maybe, if you could, if you could. Can you summarize your message from this program in one sentence, two sentences?
We are entering a new period where both man and the world will change by a new kind of work that man will do, that he will determine by changing his attitude toward others.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lightman. It was unbelievably fascinating. Thank you all for watching, and please come again to watch more of Dr. Lightman's perspectives. I'm sure you'll find them very interesting. Thank you all, and bye.
All the best.